Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. I've been away on vacation for the last week or so that's why we haven't had any regular video updates over the last week, but I'm back in the office now, so back to normal. And so I wanted to come in today and have a look at how the US E-minis unfolded yesterday, and it was absolutely an amazing day. It really was a spectacular day. It's what I talk about when I say the markets go in cycles, or the cyclical nature of trading as we teach here. And yesterday was quite outstanding, so let's have a little look. Just on the standard MTPredictor trade setups on the ES, let's have a look on a 3-minute chart. You can see here our STF was black, so you would have been able to take this TS1 buy setup. That went to the first target there. The STF was weak, less than the strength band, therefore you'd come out of the target for a plus 2.1R profit. That was actually pretty much the high of the day, so a great place to take your profit. There was then a TS3 sell setup. STF is black again, down into the first target there. STF is weak for plus 3.6R. You would have had an opportunity here to pyramid as well if you were a more experienced MTPredictor user, and that would add an additional profit as well. And if you were still trading towards the end of the day, there was another trade set up there for possibly 1R. As you can see, that went to the 100% initial risk, and so a potential 1R profit there. So some very, very good trades. So 4 trades yesterday and 4 profitable trades. But now I want to have a look and see how this would have fitted in with our larger degree trend. This is what we do for more experienced MTPredictor customers. We go to the 15-minute chart. I want to put a bit of white space on the right-hand side here, just so you can see what we do. So I want to go back before yesterday even unfolded. Before yesterday even started, this would be the position. You had a rally up here into the high the previous day. Now, were there any support and resistance levels here on the higher time frame chart? Well, this is the last swing into the low. Here's the low back here a few days ago. This is the last swing into the low. We right mouse click, put a decision point on the chart. Again, remember these are advanced or they are leading indicators. In other words, they go ahead of the market. So even before the market on the prior day got up to the high, you'd have known that was an area where resistance was likely. So what was the trend yesterday? Well, obviously we had 15-minute resistance the day before, therefore the trend was still carrying on down. Down into where? Well, this is the last swing into this high here. You'd come back, you'd put the decision point on, by right mouse click off this pivot, and let's scroll forward, and you can see that the market went down. It went down right into that low, which actually basically caught the low of the day yesterday absolutely perfectly. So there you are, we caught the low of the day yesterday and the high of the day before. What does that mean for our shorter term trades? Well, here we are. There's our 15-minute high. Here's our 15-minute low, our support zone. Remember, these were on the chart in advance, even before yesterday even opened. So what was the direction of the trend yesterday? Well, it was down. It was down into this 15-minute support zone. Therefore, the more experienced users among you probably would not have taken this TS1 buy setup, or if you had, would have moved your stop to break even a little bit more quickly. But you would have taken this TS3 sell because this was in the direction of the trend. The only thing you may have done, as the market was dropping very sharply as it hit this first target, you may have said, well, actually I want to run this a bit further and perhaps look to run into our lower support target, which would have been increasing your profit there. So you could have actually come up from approximately 3R profit, which we had there, or 3.6R, into just over 6R. Then you'd also had an opportunity to then pyramid. So on top of that 6R profit, you'd have been pyramiding if you're a more experienced user, again running into the low down here for an additional 5.9, or can I call that 6R as well? So there were 2 trades here. The first trade here off potentially the high of the day. Well, that was the high of the day there. So that was the sell setup was triggered on the very bar of the high of the day, and you've been taking profits at pretty much the low of the day. 2 trades. Plus 6R each for a 12R day profit, so very, very, very good indeed. Now that was good, but if you want to see something even more spectacular, let's go to the Russell Index. This was absolutely fantastic yesterday. We can see we had some standard trade setups as well. All of them looked very nice indeed. But I want to look at this in the context of the large degree trend. This is where it really gets spectacular. Again, let's move forward and have a look at even before yesterday even opened. So I want to scroll back a bit before yesterday even opened. Right, there we were. Again, this was the last swing into the low. Here was the main low. There's the last swing into the low. So we use the last pivot there for our decision point, and that would be our resistance area. Remember, that's on the chart in advance. It's a leading indicator. So let's see what happened. Well, yesterday the market went up, and look where the high of the day was, right at that decision point resistance level. If we look at the Elliott wave pattern here, you can see this is actually a 5-wave sequence, again with the high in and around the typical wave 5 WPT. What is the tendency after this? After a completed 5-wave sequence, the market tends to move to the DP from the prior wave 4, which would have been here. Again, this was on the chart in advance. If I scroll forward, as that high was coming in, this support level would have been on the chart in advance. This is really key to understand that these are leading indicators. This is also the last swing into the high, so again that would be your support level. And as you can see, that caught the very low of the day. Let's now have a look at our 3-minute chart and see how that would have helped your trading. Well, there you go. Instantly you can see that we had a DP sell. This was an automatic sell setup. It was against the blue STF, but because it was at higher time frame resistance, remember that resistance was on your chart preparing you in advance before the market even got there. This would have been a setup that more experienced users, MTPredictor users, would have been looking to take. If I look at the Elliott wave pattern going up into the high here, you can see that this swing here is also a 5-wave sequence with the high right at the minimum wave 5 WPT. So this would have been a very good one to take. There's the analysis down and then to the first target. Would you be looking to take profit at the first target? Well, no, because the large degree trend would have suggested the market was going to go down into this large degree support zone. Also, this is the DP from the prior wave 4. We know that if the market extends beyond this or goes below this DP, the tendency is the entire prior 5-wave sequence is erased, and we tend to go back to the DP from the start of the sequence, which again is exactly the same as our 15-minute DP there. So I'll just take that one off to avoid confusion. So this would have been your next logical target down here. Wow, what a trade. Automatic DP sell as of the very bar of the high of the day. Come down here to our 15-minute DP support zone. Again, you have to understand this was on the chart in advance before the market even got here. And look at that, a potential 11.6R profit. Wow, just that one trade there from the high of the day down to the low of the day for 11R profit. There was also an opportunity to pyramid here. The first one of these trade setups would have been taken in by a tick and then potentially stopped out for a tick. The second one here, if I place the analysis on, again you'd be looking to come down here into a lower target, would have had an additional 11R profit as well on that one down there. So even though you'd have started with a 1R loss, the second one would have been an 11R profit. Absolutely amazing. So what would you have been doing after this 15-minute support zone came in? Well, this TS1 sell here would now be against the trend because this is 15-minute support. The large degree trend would now be up. So because it's up, you'd then be looking to take this TS1 buy setup. That would have then had another nice trade for a couple of R or 2.7R profit to catch the rally into the close or just up into those highs there. Very doubtful whether you'd be looking to take these sell setups because the large degree trend was up and they were close to the end of the day. But for me, the best trade was this DP sell here, which I think was absolutely amazing, coming into the large degree target down here for a potential 11.5 R trade. And this is the beautiful thing about this, is because these levels were on your chart, on your 15-minute chart in advance. Remember, we placed that level on the chart even before yesterday even opened. It would have been preparing you in advance for that level to come in. As the market started to decline, again that 15-minute DP would have been on the chart in advance, preparing you for the level to take profits. So this DP sell would have not just come out of the blue, you'd have been actively looking to sell the market up in this level as the market reached it. That's what was so fantastic about this trade. So that's the trade I want to leave you with today. We've had a look at the ES, which actually had some fantastic trades, but for me, the star of the show yesterday with this Russell Index, having trades like this really showcases what MTPredictor can do for your trading.